Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike other YouTube channels, this is a channel that only showcases shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate it if you could like, comment and subscribe.
So let's get into today's video. Yesterday was battle day and I did manage to get through 100 battles. I used absolutely loads of team comps, some good, some average, some terrible, but we did get some great content. I have just put a vote up for which teams you want to see first. Currently, it's only been up a couple of hours and Tangrowth and Poliwrath are winning. So, the first video we are going to upload is the Shadow Tangrowth. I've seen absolutely nobody use Tangrowth. It's ranked like 110th. I think the regular, I think the Shadow is like 125th on pvpoke. So obviously, apparently it's not very good. However, I beg to differ because grass is obviously weak to ice, flying, and fire. So the team we build around it is a Shadow Muck and a Shadow Gyarados. Obviously these are going to help try and cover some of the weaknesses to flyers, fire, and of course poison, because poison is absolutely everywhere. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. We're going to be leading Shadow Muck for the duration of this video, and in game 1 we pick up a lead against a Alolan Muck. They're also on poison jab. This isn't really a great match for us, as we do take neutral from Dark Pulse and they get stabbed. We can hit back for neutral with Thunder Punch, however we get no stab, so this is probably a losing matchup. I did get the extra poison jab in, however they then got an extra back, so we're now at even energy. I go for the back-to-back Thunder Punch. I want to get it quite low, which we do. They're going to have to throw some energy. They're not going to be able to fast move us down. And at this stage, I'm just going to let Muck go and I'm going to come in and try and get ahead on energy with Gyarados. So we managed to get a little bit of energy together. We don't take too much damage. Let's see what they've got in the back. In the back, they bring out a Kingdra. This definitely is not a winning matchup for them. You can see that this Dragon Breath is absolutely shredding them. So I'm going to go straight for this Crunch and make a switch into Tangrowth. The only thing I can imagine is they've got a Water type in the back. I'm going to shield this up in case it's an outrage. It's just an Octazooka. I'm imagining if it is a water, they will not switch out. They're not switching out, so I'm just going to commit to the farm down. I am going to have to shield up again. I know this is going to be an Octazooka, but you can see these Dragon Breaths have got us below half health. I am now loaded full of energy, and we was right. Here is the water type. Not just any water type. It's a water type that takes double super effective. The first Power Whip gets the shield. We have had our attack lowered by 2 stages, but this Power Whip is absolutely going to KO Swampert. Back out comes the Kingdra and that gets farmed down as well. Moving on into game 2 of the video, we pick up a good lead against Venusaur. They switch out into Lapras, so we bring in Tangrowth, as Tangrowth doesn't really want to see Venusaur. However, this is kind of a neutral matchup. Ice Shards are really shredding us. We correctly shield an Ice Beam, which is great for us. And then when they're just about to get to a Surf, I'm going to fire off this Power Whip. If they do shield, I'm going to outpace them to the next move. They actually let it go, which is great for us. We win switch, however we are down a shield, but we do have a nice bit of energy together. Back out comes the Venusaur, and this is where the coverage move of Rockslide comes in handy. You can see it does around 33% health. We actually get some lag. You can see we're missing a lot of fast moves. We would have got to a second Rockslide, so it's a bit brutal. However, we're lucky that Muck does wall Venusaur. They get a few extra free turns of energy. They switch out into Swampert. So once again, you can see the rise in Swampert in this meta as poison is everywhere. People like PokeAK have been using Nidoqueen, so obviously the meta always shifts when the big content creators put out videos. Luckily for us, our whole team does alright against Swampert. Muck doesn't do fantastic, but we can tank a Hydro Cannon, then have to go for an Earthquake. So, getting back into this matchup, most Swamperts are running Earthquake. You can see we tank these Hydro Cannons, no problem on the Gyarados. We got the first shield with a Crunch, fishing for the defense drop, which we didn't get. We now get the last shield, once again, with an Aqua Tail. We're going to save our shield as the win con very much lies in Muck. We're going to come back in. The opponent does a great catch here on the Dark Pulse. However, one good play deserves another. So I farm up to a great. The undercharge is going to allow us to tank one move and completely farm down, and we should have the Dark Pulse ready. I'm not going to shield this up. You can see that Kanto Muck can survive 3 Frenzy Plants. They're not going to get to another one. We have the Dark Pulse ready. Swampert comes back in. We lose CMP. However, this is why we saved the shield. We shield up this Hydro Cannon. The CMP was registered, which is great for us. I don't think they're at back-to-back moves anyway, but this Dark Pulse is going to take that game. GG to that opponent. Moving on into this next battle. Not only do we get weak connection, which is dreadful for us, we get an Empoleon. This is a pretty rough matchup for most our team, as Empoleon Gyarados is pretty neutral. Even Tangrowth's pretty neutral, as the Drill Peck would hit us for a lot of damage. We managed to let a Waterfall through as well, which isn't great. However, this Thunder Punch would at least hit for super effective. They switch out into Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen once again is something we really don't want to see. We soften up with a Dark Pulse, which does around 33%, and we switch out into Gyarados. They're going to just keep debuffing us, so we're not going to shield this up, but we are hoping to draw at least one shield. We're going to see if we can get to back-to-back Aqua Tails. The first one goes through, and we don't let a Poison Jab through, which is great for us. This is where you're going to see the lack of bulk in Shadow Gyarados, because if we had the regular one, we would survive this. However, the squishy Shadow, Poison Fang, unfortunately, almost takes us out. We get one more Dragon Breath through. We're now in a bit of a rough spot. So I bring back out Muck. The opponent looks like they're trying to go for the Earth Power, so I'm going to go for this Thunder Punch. I'm hoping this KOs. It is resisted. It doesn't, but I do snipe down with a Vine Whip. It's all going to depend now what's in the back. I'm hoping this is a double Dark team with Obstagoon in the back. Unfortunately, it isn't. It's actually Crobat. So we go for the CMP to not allow a free Air Slash through. This Rockslide is going to do huge damage. However, our lower defense is going to be a huge problem. We're going to need to take this Crobat out and get to a Power Whip on the Empoleon. So once again, we get to this next move. However, you can see we're lagging. We're missing absolutely loads of bubbles because of the lag, which is really annoying. And unfortunately, we fall one fast move short. But saying that, I don't think a Power Whip would KO from there. So GG to that opponent. You can't win them all. Moving on into this next battle. We pick up a lead against Clefable, which is great. And they switch out into a Hippowdon. It's on Icefang. So I've absolutely stumped what to do here. We draw a shield, which is great. And now we switch out into Gyarados. These Icefangs do really chunk us. And they obviously have access to Rock-type Weather Ball. So this isn't the best matchup for us. However, we do in turn hit back with super effective with these Aqua Tails. If this goes unshielded, I imagine it would KO. They actually do shield though. You can see these Ice Fangs are really doing a lot of damage. However, Ice Fang doesn't charge energy too quickly, so I am going to double shield here and look to take switch. The opponent actually makes a great switch. They save their Hippowdon. However, this Aqua Tail does do a nice bit of chip damage to Clefable. You can see that we stayed in for a little bit. I'm trying to switch out and bank the Aqua Tail. We're unable to do that. I am now counting these charge moves on the Clefable. The fact they've switched back out, I imagine they're trying to draw back out my Muck. So I'm counting moves. I catch the Psychic onto my Tangrowth. Tangrowth farms down, and I'm hoping I can farm down this Hippowdon that is going to return. Icefang is going to hit us for super effective. We're going to hit them for super effective with the Vine Whips. Unfortunately, they get to a move, so unfortunately we lose our Tangrowth. It's now going to be all on Muck. Poison Jab is resisted. However, they've just dumped their energy, so I'm going to commit to the Poison Jab down. Let's see what they've got in the back. And that is why they tried to draw our Muck out. They're actually running double charm. Hello, Muck. Can you close this game out? You are deep in the red. First Thunder Punch gets around 25% damage. I actually deny a charm by some miracle. Second Thunder Punch does another 25%. A few Poison Jabs and this last Thunder Punch. And a red HP Muck takes out the Sylveon. You love to see it. GG to that opponent. Moving on into the next battle. We pick up a lead against Snorlax. This once again is kind of neutral. You can see the licks and Poison Jabs doing around the same damage. Snorlax goes straight for this Body Slams. I haven't got to worry about an Earthquake. And now I overfarm and go straight for this Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse will do huge damage if it goes unshielded, which it does. And the opponent now looks like they're going to dump their energy once again. So at this stage, I've got a Thunder Punch banked. I'm going to shield this up. I imagine the opponent isn't going to let us farm down. So we actually make a simultaneous swap. And we both safe swap into Gyarados. Looks like I win CMP or the opponent isn't throwing straight away. So I'm going to go straight for this Crunch. Looking for the defense drop. The opponent now is going to go for a Crunch of their own, which I'm not going to shield. And we actually do get the defense drop, which is unfortunate. However, our Muck did save that Thunder Punch. So I'm waiting out my switch time. I'm going to go for a couple of extra poison jabs to try and get a bit of energy. This Thunder Punch will take Gyarados out if it goes unshielded, which it does. And now we're in the one shield. The opponent in the back has a Charmer. This Thunder Punch once again is going to do quite a nice bit of chip damage, which it does. I now make a switch into my Tangrowth. I imagine the opponent is going to look to try and sack at some stage. So I'm going to use my shield here. We remember that Snorlax has no energy. So I'm over farming. There's the attempted sack. We're having absolutely none of that. We fast move farm it down. And this back-to-back rock slide is going to be enough to take this game. The first one gets the shield. I over farm for no particular reason other than a bit of BM because I absolutely hate Charm. And we go for one more rock slide to take this game. GG to that opponent. That's the 4-in-1 set that I had with this team, and we've actually got one bonus battle. In the bonus battle, we was actually using Lapras instead of Gyarados in the safe switch position. We got a pretty decent lead with Obstagoon. Obviously, Lapras wants to avoid Goon, so I safe swap that to meet the mark. The mark goes straight for the Dark Pulse. It does huge damage. However, at least we didn't get debuffed as Acid Spray is super annoying. We're now at the back-to-back Surf. First Surf draws the shield, so at this stage, I know this is going to be an Acid Spray as they're just short of the Dark Pulse. I know I'll survive this, and I am now going to go for the KO shot. I don't imagine the opponent is going to want to go on 2 shields. This is why I like Ice Beam. We have that nuke potential. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite do enough damage, and we get Poison Jab down. I'm now going to wait out my switch timer and look to try and Poison Jab down this Muck. Once again, I'm not going to shield, even if it's a Dark Pulse. I'm not really too bothered. It is the Dark Pulse, which does around 35-40% of our health, but we managed to get a nice bit of energy together. I'm now waiting to see what the opponent does. I see him bring back in Goon, so I spam out the Tangrowth to get ahead in a bit of energy, and in the back is a Fire type. They're actually running Dragon Breath. You'd imagine this is a bad matchup for Tangrowth. However, like I said at the start of the video, this is why you love the rock coverage. They bait us with a Dragon Claw. I've got 2 shields, so I knew it was going to be a bait, but you can see these Dragon Breaths are shredding us. We are going to outpace them, though, with these Rock Slides. So the first one draws the shield. Will this second one KO? Double super effective. Get out of here, Charizard. Back out comes Obstagoon. As this was going to be a Tangrowth showcase, I didn't actually showcase the team in this video, as I did go quite negative. But we do shield this up to get Tangrowth to put in a lot of work. This Power Whip is going to do huge damage to Obstagoon. Like you can see there, gets him deep into the yellow. We switch out with the loaded Thunder Punch. That almost KOs Obstagoon, and the opponent sees the writing on the wall and back out. So GG to that opponent. I did try various team comps. The Lapras team comp, I had a lot of 2-3s, 3-2, so nothing worth showcasing. Just that bonus battle, where you obviously love to see a Grass type one-shot a Fire type. The team that I did showcase at the start of the video, the Shadow Muck, Tangrowth and Gyarados team, I had this 4-1. I had a couple of other fairly decent sets. I would say it's a decent team and something to run. Tangrowth itself, such a sleeper pick. Obviously it is ranked really low, but if you're going to use a Grass type in this meta that is so full of like stuff like Crobat and the occasional Fire type, it is really worth using one that can hit back for super effective. So if you do see the rising Swampert and you want a Grass type, perhaps you should give Tangrowth a try too. So like I said at the start of the video, we've got so much content to get through, so I'm going to try and be really regular with my uploads. Just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.